What's up, guys? Today we're taking a look at Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Voyager class Predaking. This is a brand new figure. I picked this up at my local Walmart, which Walmarts have been crap as of recent and really having nothing in stock whatsoever. But I happened to just walk in and see two Predaking and two Optimus. That was it. And it was surprisingly cheaper than Toys R Us. Now I live on the East Coast, so based on your location, that price may vary. But anyways, you can see Predaking in his packaging here. You can see Predaking in his beast mode on the side here. Beast Hunters. Says he's got twin Hydra fire blasters. You see him in the beast mode, and he is the Predacon leader. Flip over to the side here, and this is something I really enjoy. You can see here, really nice artwork of Predaking. You got the Predacon logo there. You see Predaking himself. Come over to this side. Again, you've got his name. Another picture of him, his technical data, and he's got some really high stats down here. A lot bigger than Optimus Prime's. But again, a really small bio which reads, "The terrifying Predacon tyrant Predaking is a mighty evil from the ancient past with the power to burn entire worlds to cinders." But flip over to the back here, you can see it says Predaking again. Watch Transformers on TV on the Hub or at hubworld.com. You can see him in his robot mode, and you can see him in the dragon mode. It says Dragon Tail Sword, and it says Hydra heads attached. Again, we can see this Transformers Prime. Doesn't say Beast Hunters down there, and you can see the original look of the Prime characters, or the Autobots, so to speak. And you can join online again, Facebook, Transformers.com, and YouTube.com. And one more thing I want to mention real quick. These Voyager-sized packagings are a lot bigger than what we got with the RID. So, there's Predaking, and here's Transformers Prime Robots in Disguise Voyager Megatron. As you can see here, the packaging for the Beast Hunters is a little bit taller, and it's actually a little bit wider from the front view, but coming over here, they're really just about the same in width from the side of the packaging. But without further ado, let's open up Beast Hunters Voyager Predaking and see what he's all about. And now we have Predaking out of his packaging and in his beast mode. But just like with Optimus, I really want to cover these directions real quick. And it says Tales of the Beast Hunters, Chapter 6, continued from Chapter 5, Voyager Optimus Prime. It says Predaking, you see a nice little image of him. It says his Hydra fire blasters right there. And it says semi-sentient weapons track and destroy their own targets, weapon charge fueled by limitless rage of Predaking, and permanent bond to Predaking. No one else can use them. So that's kind of cool. Come over here and you got the little read-up again, continued from Optimus Prime. And it reads, even as his blasters spew Nova-hot flame across the quick melting walls of the ancient starship, Predaking scans the cargo hold for signs of the powerful weapons the Autobots have come to find. So focused is he on holding off Optimus Prime and accomplishing his goal that he does not see the skulking form of Laserback, flitting from shadow to shadow. No one does, in fact. And even as the battle rages, the Predacon saboteur manages to plant enough explosive to utterly annihilate the derelict ship. When the charges detonate, all of the combatants are caught off guard. Predaking watches as his Autobot opponents escape with the precious few of the weapon crates in their possession. Only when he turns to his own escape from the disintegrating starship does he see Megatron, surrounded by fire, plunge helplessly through the damaged floor, followed by hundreds of tons of debris. Continued in Chapter 7, Deluxe Starscream. Now, do I think the read-ups are really going to give us the kind of first episode or 2 episodes of the Beast Hunter series? No. I kind of think they're just fun things for kids to read up on to kind of give us a glimpse of the characters per se. I really don't think it's going to be the story, but who knows? I could be wrong. But anyways, on a Predaking here, I don't know if this is really coming off on camera, but I actually had to back it up. He's a pretty big figure. Not so much in thickness, but really more or less in length. He's a long friggin' figure here. And just to show you real quick, here's Predaking, and here's Optimus Prime from Beast Hunters. You can really see he's pretty much towering over the vehicle mode here. He's a large dragon. I mean, and even in length, if you guys can see this, here's Optimus. Yeah, he's pretty lengthy, Predaking here. So that's a real nice touch to the dragon mode. It kind of looks really well with other Predacons. Well, I shouldn't say Predacons because the only one we've gotten so far to know a size comparison would be Laserback, which, as you can see, he really looks good here with Predaking. These are the first 2 Predacons we're getting from the Beast Hunter series. I do like Laserback here, but really when it comes to the 2, I do like Predaking more. And lastly, for a kind of vehicle comparison with him, here's the Beast Hunter Soundwave. As you see, same thing with the length. I mean, I guess you pretty much got the idea and gist already, but he's a long long Voyager. Now, he comes with these two Hydra fire missile blasters, as they call them, which are just like extra heads for Predaking here. And it's his weaponry as well. So it's kind of weird, because they could sit up like that, they can go a little bit down more, a little bit down more, a little bit more, a little bit more, and then they finally drop. But, I mean, you can manage them on an angle, straight up, or straight down. So that's a nice little aspect. I don't think they look all too great with him, and they just do peg in right next to his neck. But it's really user preference. I think it looks pretty nice with the figure, but I honestly prefer to have them without. But before I take them off, we'll straighten these out. And when you straighten them out, this will come down, and then you can fire them. And they fire very nice. You saw there was a decent amount of power towards that, so they're pretty much spring-loaded. So getting those off real quick, I just want to show you these, if it'll unpeg. It's a neat little head sculpt, very menacing looking. The jaw does go all the way down to open, and this can go up like that. So you get minimal poseability out of them. And take this one off as well. They're just, you can peg them in. They're just little additions that I think they just thought would make the figure just really stand out, which it does. It does make a difference. But this is more the combined mode for when he's in robot mode. And also, no, they will not attach like this together when they are pegged in next to his neck. But on a Predaking here, very menacing looking figure. And now the directions do tell you, and even the package, that these spikes that rotate up for robot mode are only meant for robot mode, but it does work as well for the beast mode here, or dragon mode. It looks nice, but for the sake of, I guess, the packaging and the original look, I'll leave him off like that. Now, he does have this really long tail, and it is not articulated at all. This right here will detach at this point to continue to be another weapon, his sword, which we'll get into later. But these wings are, I mean, this one really, it's not on a pin. It kind of just pops off like that, and you can snap it back in. Well, you can, but I can't seem to. But once you tab that back in, you can manage these fairly well. Really not too hard to do. They can go all the way forward. They can go a fair amount back, but some things are going to get in your way. It stops right there, I believe, because of his chest. But yeah, they are highly manageable. There's a hinge right there, a hinge right there. So, I mean, you could angle them like that and then have him down if you want him to lay down next to Predaking, kind of like so. And the head is very manageable. That can rotate down like that right here at his neck. The head is manageable, and the jaw does open up pretty wide. Now his face for his dragon mode here looks really nice. All soft rubber around here, I guess for safety reasons for kids. But overall, very nice detailing and looks pretty nice. And now back here, these legs will rotate 360 degrees, but they can get caught in the wings. But you can obviously simply move them out of the way, and you can bend that. So that is manageable, and that is for both legs. And then back here, because of transformation, these claws will go all the way back, and obviously back forward. Oh, and he can bend here. I guess that's an elbow. Yeah, that's part of his hind leg, whatever. But again, no articulation at the tail. Very nice looking dragon mode here. Absolutely my favorite yet of the Beast Hunters figures, right next to Optimus. And as for these arms up here, I'll take care of the articulation for that in robot mode. Now for transformation, you're going to come back here and you can pop this out. This is going to become his sword, which I'll discuss later. But you can come over here, close this up, close up the claws, rotate them to the side to form his fists, bring out these for his shoulders. Well, it's not for, you don't need them to be his shoulders, but they're supposed to be there, and they will tab in very lightly. Come under here, and you can separate this. This is pretty much the body, what you're doing. And when you bring that out, you're forming the legs pretty much. So this was like this here, brought it out. Rotate it. There's this little orange piece right here. You can rotate that backwards, fold up the claw there, and rotate this in. Flip out the foot, and now you have his right leg done. Come over here, do the same exact thing. Rotate this. Put that tab back. Well, not tab, but that piece of the dragon mode. Rotate that claw over there. Rotate this around. Bring it in. Once that's rotated in, you can bring that down for a heel. And you have that foot done. Rotate it, bring this around like so. Then you can rotate this, that's the other part of the tail here. You can bring this up, and now up here on the head, you can rotate it at the neck there. That's part of his articulation I didn't mention, right below the neck hinge there, you can rotate this 360 degrees as well. But you rotate that, come over here, open up the chest, and when you bring this down, it'll reveal his head. Now, when you're retransforming this, you don't want to mess this up, because when I pull the dragon head out, I push this too far, and this is all soft kind of plastic rubber here, and I had to stress it through there and almost kind of broke one of these off, so be careful of that. But that'll tab in right to the rest of the chest here, like so. Then you come back here and kind of just have to lay this around the head. But I don't really particularly like doing that because I feel like it's going to bend these and make them stick like inward or stuck out or something. But you're supposed to do that like so. Come over here, straighten them all out. And these wings are manageable. The packaging shows you to kind of sit them like that. So I'm just going to do that for the sake of the packaging right now and the directions. But pretty much for the most part here, we have Predaking in its robot mode. Now, he does have the sword here. And I'll bring out his other little accessories here. These Hydra flame, whatever they were called. Put those off to the side. So that we got them ready to go. And you can see he looks very, very cool, very menacing. The one thing I could say I kind of don't like, I wish he had a bigger neck, a little bit longer. Doesn't bug me too bad, but it does kind of give him a weird kind of look. From this view, he kind of has like an extended neck, but now he just looks like he has no neck at all from this view. But also what people can do, and what I've seen done, is they angle these way up here like so. Changing the camera view right here, you can really see it really extends the height here, so I have to go really far back with the camera. But we're going to take care of poseability real quick. And what that is, these rotate 360 degrees, but the wings will get in your way if they're not straight up like that. So over here at the bicep, you can rotate 360 degrees. You can bend at the elbow forwards. This hand will open up completely because of transformation and close. And it's on a ball joint, so that can be rotated 360 degrees. That goes for both arms. The waist here would rotate completely, if not for the rest of the tail having to be here to cover up that head. So, I mean, if you stick that out there, or even you'd have to go straight down, you could rotate the waist 360 degrees. But then you're going to have this part of the dragon mode tail sticking down. So that kind of sucks. So you want to even out the waist. Bring this back up to cover the dragon mode head. Come over here to his legs. And he can go out and in, forwards and back. Bend at the knee. You get a little kind of articulation out of this. So you can manage that for how you want him to look. And down here the heel can go inward and out. And the toes here can really go forward and back. And up here on the head, it does kind of swivel left to right. No 360 really. But you go over here and it can go up and down just a little bit. Now I already did it to one of the wings, but this is personally my preference to fold it up like that. And all you gotta do is come over here, fold this down, and kind of manage this. You might have to stress a little bit, but it's really not much to cause any damage. But you can angle these in here and manage them up and down how you like. But that to me looks a little bit better as well too, if you don't want the figure kind of looking so tall. Now you can take the sword here, and because of the way this is molded, you kind of see it's like a T shape in here to pop into the rest of the tail. In here there's a little tiny square that he can hold it in, but it doesn't really stay too securely in there. So I mean, he can hold it, but it's like kind of weird in his hand. As you can see, the hand's going straight and the sword's turned. Not particularly my favorite, and as you see, it fell out already. He's not really holding it too well, but he can hold it. So, and that is in both hands. You have another one right over here. Now, other than that, you can take these twin, I forgot, Hydra guns, whatever they're called, and I guess you could pop them in and then have two out of the right arm, but it kind of really weighs him down. The knee joints aren't incredibly too strong. Oh, and another point of articulation, he could swivel there 360 degrees. I completely forgot about that. But yeah, mainly over here, what it's going to come down to is you're going to have probably one each in these hands. And you can just stretch them out like that, or arc them any way you like. You come over here, and you can kind of put that in there. But now we can have his guns here attached to his, I guess, right above his wrists. And you can have them up like that, or straight down, whichever you prefer. The sword still, again, doesn't peg in too well, but the guns do work very nicely, and they do stay in. They kind of mold in directly with his hands, so to speak, pretty nicely. But I don't prefer to have them really on there. It just looks weird to me. So you can just untab these, take out a sword, pop these all off. And I believe there was a mode where you can combine the guns. Now, it took me a minute to do this, guys. But what you gotta do, rotating at the bicep inward on each arm, bend the elbows inward, and the fist here on that ball joint will go out a little bit and straighten out to kind of make this big attack mode here, which this actually does look pretty cool. But now getting that out of here, let's do some comparisons. Here we have Predaking, and then we'll bring in Laserback and Soundwave from the Beast Hunters line. These are deluxe figures. As you can see, Predaking is a pretty tall figure compared to these guys. And then we'll bring in the RID Transformers Prime Voyager Megatron, as well as the other Voyager in this line, the Beast Hunters Voyager Optimus Prime. And let's zoom in on his head real quick. I want to show you the detail on that. And you can see a brand new head sculpt here on Predaking. Like I said, all soft rubber around on these points. It's kind of dragon looking, but it gets the point across of being a robot. But very nice. I love the detail here. I just wish I had a little bit more articulation around this. And I love the little Cybertron detailing all over the body. But other than that, guys, let's get it back into the dragon mode here. So what you want to do is straighten out the head here. Put these back like so. Just rotate them. Bring down the wings. Kind of help you get them out of your way. Untab the chest here just a little bit. Bring the tail out. Bring the dragon head up and tuck that in. You can rotate the head around 180 degrees, and you can close the chest up like so. Bring the arms down, rotate the fists, open up the claws completely to flatten them out. This will form the arms and the feet here. Come over here and turn the waist halfway, just about. You can rotate this all the way up so you can see the opening of the inside of the tail. You can bring out the leg, it'll just rotate out. Bring it down. You can take this little orange tab, rotate that upward, open the claws here, do the same exact thing over here, rotate that out, bring it down, bring out that little orange piece there. And now once you do that, if it's perfectly even, you can rotate this and bring it in and just cover it right up. Same thing over here, rotate it. Oh, well, I kind of did this backwards, as you can see. The waist is supposed to go the other way, halfway. So you could just, if it was like this, here's a crotch piece, rotate it to the right. That is the proper way to do it. So once you do that, bring this in here, close this all up, it'll all tab in very nicely. Bring these legs down. And there are little tabs under here on the knee joint that will tab into the rest of the tail. So if you got it right, this kind of spacing right here will go onto a little part of the spine on the tail here. So close that up, push the feet down to the robot mode, bring these wings up, like so. Position the legs to your liking. Then you could take the sword, and you can see it's that T shape. Plug it right in. And then other than plugging those weird Hydra guns into the neck area here, you pretty much have Predaking back in his dragon mode. Now, all in all, guys, like I said, this is a very nice Voyager size figure here. And I can't wait for the show to finally be released. Do I think you should pick up Predaking? Absolutely. He's a very fun figure. It's nice to see a nice looking color kind of beast mode here. The guns really aren't too special, but they do add a little touch to the figure. The sword is really not too great. It looks alright, but it doesn't peg in too well. Transformation's fun. Awesome articulation. Really nice wingspan. I could use some black detail here, but I could just do that myself. Great articulation in both forms, like I said, and it's just all around nice figure. Definitely pick him up as soon as you see him. But hey guys, if you're on YouTube right now watching this, just go over, hit that subscribe button if you liked the video. Also like it if you liked it, and you can keep up with me for more Transformers discussion at facebook.com/MrTFPrime, or you can follow me on Twitter at MrTFPrime. And once again, this is Mr. TF Prime, and I want to thank you for watching.